Hello and welcome to WCR Season 3 Tier 3. Today is the first round of the season and we are here at Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia, for I hope to be an exciting Australian Grand Prix. The race today will be a 29 laps long race and strategy should consist mainly of one stops, with most people starting on soft compounded tyres, but don't rule out the people who could be starting on the medium or hard compound of tyres. We now move into qualifying here, and as people are starting to get out of the garage, out of this 18-minute session, we are here on board with Muriat, who is in the Red Bull for this season. I believe last season he was doing some races in Tier 1, which I was racing in as well. Here on the start lap, we will go and see if anybody is coming around to start their lap. Here we see Doxter on his out lap. Here in the Force India this season, he looked really good in evaluation races, but did quite make Tier 2. We also have Veerkamp in the Alfa Romeo, Sterk in the Renault, who was close to getting into Tier 2, so look out for him, he could be a good contender this season. LSD69, who is actually about to start his lap, so we ride on board as he exits the final corner, opens the DRS. The man in the Alfa Romeo is about to come through the start finish line, as we do see Carpaccio on the right. Here into turn 1, picks up very nicely as he comes down into turn 3, DRS wide open now. Breaks hard down now, down through this sort of stadium car park section, I like to call it. We go back on board as he finishes the first sector of the lap. Breaking hard down now, flipping the curb, running over the exit curb very nicely there. See him go down now. Onto this sort of mini straight, I like to call it. That's not really straight as it's sort of bent throughout. Here into one of the most famous corners of the track, the fast left right hander. Opens DRS on the fairly new DRS zone that was introduced, that I believe was in 2018, which as he is now in sector 3 and coming around the final bunch of corners, we go back on board with him now as TX606 has retired from the session. Through the penultimate corner and into the final corner, taking this and slightly going down into third, DRS wide open, and as he comes to the start finish line, we will see what lap he set, which will be a 121 flat. We now go on board with Muriat, who's around halfway through his lap, about to finish sector 3. Through the left right hander here, takes that very nicely, opens DRS. That corner taken nicely as well. Into the penultimate corner now, as Nitro Fox goes around a tenth faster, actually half a tenth even, than LSD there. Around the final corner now, as he backs out. Maybe he's not happy with that, or he could just be going on the ultimate strategy as he goes and sets at 124 flat there. We now ride with Doxter, who's just started his lap in sector 1. We will go off board now, as he does have a Williams ahead. I don't know if he will be impeding him by much. I do believe that is Cosy there, or Nitro Fox, who I think it's Nitro Fox, as he finished the lap and is currently first. As here we go and see Doxter looking very good in the number 13 Force India. Go on board for the fastest corners, I believe, of the track. Very nicely there, with DRS wide open. Very aggressive on the downshifts there. Runs it slightly wide there, but still very nice. Into the penultimate corner, we go on board. Clips the apex there. Using all the track there, as he runs up to the start finish line. His lap will be a 120.7 and goes proficiently pole. very nice lap there. As we now go and ride on board with Mandrop here, who is on his lap in the Mercedes car. Obviously the Mercedes looking amazing this year in the 2019 variant of the car. Maybe not attacking the left right hand as Doxter did, as he does get a snap of oversteer on the rear, exiting there. Oh, he goes slightly wide there, exiting the final complex of corners. Oh, wide there as well, running over the gravel slightly, I believe. As he now comes up to the final corner, DRS wide open, and he comes around to set a 122.2, so that's 1.5 seconds off the current pole sitter. We'll go on board with Mark, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, who has just started his lap right behind Mandrop. Go on board, revving it out in 7th gear. See, Mandrop ahead, pulls out the way for Mark to go and do his lap. Down into end of sector 1. So one set to 26.8 in the first sector. Goes further down now. Go off board now. So you watch the Toro Rosso. She's looking good as always in this blue and red scheme that the team has been running since 2017. Looking very good through the left right hander there, as he has his teammate slightly ahead, maybe giving him some slipstream there as he runs down here. Takes that corner very nicely, running it out wide on the curb and the AstroTurf. Through here now, doing the exact same there, very nicely. Let's go through the final corner now. Also using as much track as possible. He runs down on board. What time will he set? A 121.3, putting him 4th at the moment. I believe. Here we have Bichelli look on this lap. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Oh, getting it all out of sorts there. A very nice shot there as you see the cars run through. Now one person I would like to spectate here is Drake. Because last season he was in tier 1 and finished 4th there, but now he's in tier 3 as we get lag spike and he goes over to set 121.3, putting him 4th. Yeah, it's interesting to see how Drake will do in tier 3 this season. As I just mentioned, he was in tier 1 last season and ended up finishing 4th in the standings, so yeah, it's quite a significant drop to be fair, but with WCR ever expanding, from going from 2 to 5 tiers from last season to this season, there's a lot more competition to be expected, and yeah, this has ended up pushing Drake down into tier 3. So yeah, we have to see how he does. We now go on board with Huskari, who I believe has backed off, judging by how early he's shifting up. Maybe he messed up the lap earlier on. We don't know as of this point yet, so we will now ride on board with Fat Cozzy, who I believe is on his lap here in the Williams car. Obviously he will be hoping to do much better than the Williams are doing in real life as of now. Goes to the final corner. DRS open as he comes through to go 4th provisionally. Williams looking very good here, both 2nd and 4th as it stands right now. Both within, I would say, touching distance of pole position, which currently belongs to Doxter at the moment. As Carpaccio he goes into 4th place. As I do believe this is an RPM glitch that we are experiencing right now. Go on board with Sturk. I don't know if he's on the lap or not, but we will see if he ends up setting a better lap. No, I don't think he does, but I also think he's going for another lap on the soft compound tyres. Taking turn 1 very nicely there. As he runs down into turn 3. Nice overhead shot there. Goes through the car park section now. Using every inch of the track there. Down through the end of sector 1, we go back on board now. In the Renault car. Shifting down into third gear here. Clipping the inside curb and the exit curb slightly. As he runs down to the fast left right hander, as Mark Nicky goes 3rd there. Looks to take that very nicely. Don't know if he cut there. As the DRS is still open, I would presume he did not get an invalidation as he now runs down here. Down into the penultimate corner. Use as much track as possible. Down to the start finish line, and he goes 3rd. A very nice lap there from Sturk. Now enable some telemetry, which I should have put on at the start. Right. Now we go on board with Nitro Fox, who is on this lap. Actually, no, I don't believe he is, as it's shown he is on Series ERS mode. Unless that may be a glitch. Yeah. As you did see Haskari there, looking to start his lap, but yeah, Nitro Fox does go into the pits. So we go on board with Haskari here. On the soft compounded tyres. Into turn 1 he goes, the number 49 car I believe that was. In the McLaren. Very aggressive on the downshifts there, using ERS 3 at the moment. Up into mode 5. Coming up to the fast left right hander. Takes that very nicely. Yes, LSD, he goes fastest, 2/10 faster than Doctor's managed so far with a 120.5. As we now see Haskari coming through the final couple of corners. His deployment on ERS slightly run out, but I think he has enough left for the lap. ERS mode 5 coming around the final corner. DRS wide open. And he goes pole by 2/10 as well. With a 120.3. A very nice lap there. From the, I believe, he's a Finn. Correct me if mistaken, but yeah, looking very good in pole, the Shizou man. We'll see if Drake is on the lap here in the Haas. Which I know he isn't, judging by the ERS mode. Yeah, so it just looks like most, unless Picheliuk is on the lap, we will go check on him. Nope, he goes straight into the pits there. So as it stands, it looks like it is a McLaren pole position in with Haskari, followed by the Alfa Romeo Sauber of Alistair in second, then Dox in third in the Racing Point Force India car, whichever you want to call it. Yeah, and the grid is looking very tight up at the top. Obviously, we do have Heskari out at SDC, but from there we've got around 3/10 from 3rd to 9th, which is really good, and hopefully will prove an exciting race here, as it looks like most cars are going out for their final run of the session, which they will hope to be their best, as we're on board with Soxon here, who was only set at 123 as of yet, which is a fair bit off a pole, but you don't know if he has possibly done a mistake or not on his lap. So, see him on the out lap. So, look at some cars. I know it's Doc, so he is towards the end of his lap, but he will have to be careful of other cars coming out of the pits here as he rounds the final corner to start his final lap, which he will hopefully pole, because he's been looking very competitive here. Go off board here, we'll go on board with him the whole lap here, I would say. He's first and very nicely running out onto the edge there. DRS wide open now. It's a Spaniard. Brakes hard into second gear, into turn 3. Around turn 4 now, clipping the inside curb, slightly to clipping the outside curb. Round turn 5 now, up into the end of sector 1. As I believe that's him bettering his first sector by 1.5 tenths, so he's looking to be on a good lap as of now. Braking hard now into 3rd gear, using as much track as possible. Go off board here to see the pink racing point. Goes on the fast left right hander. Lets it run wide. DRS wide open. He's very aggressively, but takes that really nicely as he comes around the final bunch of corners. Into the penultimate corner now. As the Sky retires, he doesn't think he can do any better in this session. We'll have to see what Doctor will be able to do. DRS wide open now. What will he be able to do? He goes second within 120.5, so as it still stands, the Sky is on pole. We will now look towards other drivers such as Nitro Fox, who is looking very competitive. As LSDC can't improve on this time, so he stays in 3rd position. We have to see what Nitro Fox does now. Oh, it just looks like he had a small wobble out of that corner. Will he be able to gain the 5 tenths? No, he is down on his time. Oh, and he spins. Yep, that's his qualifying done. Have to get out of the way for any cars coming through though. He's going board with Drake now, who is on this lap. Could he possibly snatch pole position? A Stack retires. He doesn't think he can do any better. Muritz as well. No, Drake is finished. Yep, Drake is finished. So the only one who could improve is Simon Elite, I think, or Bishileluk. Here comes Simon now. Getting a lot of understeer there. Comes to the finish. Can he improve from 12th position? No, he can't. And I must say, very good qualifying session there. If that's anything to hint of what will come in the race, we should have a very good race indeed. See, yep, I was right. The Finn Heskarian pole by over 2 tenths down to Dockster, then LSDC. No, LSD69, sorry. Then we have the Williams Nitro Fox, Mercedes Mark Nicky. Then we have Sturk, Veerkamp, Drake, who not the best qualifying. Carpaccio, then Mark. Then we have Cosy starting outside. He could be looking to do an alternate strategy. We'll have to look out for him in the race. Then we have Simon Lee, Crescent, Mantrop, Steph Farrell, Bichaluk, Muritz, Mr. Sox, and TX606, who did not set a time. With the lobby having to be restarted due to issues with people's games. Be the same grid, and people will be starting top 10, starting on the same types, of course. That's the rule in F1. as I mentioned previously, people will now be selecting their strategies as if they want to tweak maybe their front wing or differential, maybe brake bias as well. Choosing how much fuel they want to put in, then they'll be ready enough to start the Grand Prix. Obviously, preceding the Grand Prix, there will be the formation lap, where people will be warming up their tyres, their brakes, make sure their car is in peak condition to start the Grand Prix. As now, do see this time, formation lap is available to start. As we do have Shizu Haskari starting on pole. Following him will be Doxter in the Racing Point down in second place. Behind him is LSD in the Alfa Romeo Sauber, followed by Nitro Fox in the Williams. Mark Nicky then is behind them in the Mercedes, and followed by Sturk in the Renault. Faircamp in the Alfa Romeo as well. Both Alfa Romeos looking fairly strong to start the season, and then they are followed by Drake. Carpaccio comes behind in McLaren, obviously the teammate of the pole sitter. Then we have Mark. So we have Cozzy as well in the Williams. Then we have the other Taurus of Simon Elite. Then we have the first of the Ferraris coming in the form of Crescent. And then have Mandrop in the other Mercedes. Steph Ferrao in the other Force India. Michelle in the other Renault. Merritt in the first Red Bull. TX606, who I believe crashed out in qualifying. And then Mr. Soxon in the Red Bull. With the grid done, we are looking to have a very exciting Grand Prix here, as we do see now Haskari coming around the final corners on the formation lap, looking as he will now have his car lined up on the grid, starting in the pole position on the left hand side. In real life F1 we did see Lewis Hamilton, the pole sitter, getting a very bad getaway, and seeing the second place man Valtteri Bottas get passed into pole. So could we see that with Doxter possibly? Who knows, could LSDC get in the challenge, or even Nitro Fox? We will have to see, as we see all the cars line up now on the grid. Look towards the end of the grid, we see the final car starting in. As we go towards 5 red lights now. First, second, third, fourth, fifth red light, cars revving up. And it's lights out and away we go. I think that's Doxter getting alongside Haskari here. It goes side by side into turn 1. Haskari gets pushed wide onto the grass, and I think there's an incident back towards the grid. We'll have to see, but it is Doxter who takes the lead in the Racing Point, followed by Haskari, DC, who's getting quite close to Haskari, followed by Mark Nicky, Faircamp, Simon Elite, who's got a very good start from P10 I believe. Then we have TX606, so I do think that was a massive incident as he was starting in 18th place back there. And yes, we do see Fat Cozzy, who's missing some of his front wing there. Oh dear. Looks like he got right in the thick of it into turn 1, but now we have Doxter lead, followed by Haskari, LSD, who has Mark Nicky right on the back of him. Will he look for a move into the fast left right hander? No, he doesn't, but he'll be looking to size it up into the preceding corner, into the following corner. So I apologise. And here we see him getting alongside Nicky. No DRS as of yet, as Simon Lee has retired. Looks like he retired at the fast left right hander. Oh, Steph Farrell as well. Sorry, I have to go on board with Cozzy to see what's happened to the duo here. But it does seem like both retired. Yeah, look at that. Both retired on the first lap, as you now see Doxter leading the grid over one second now from him to Haskari, as Faircamp gets a 3-second time penalty. Then followed by LSDC, who's followed by Mark Nicky, who's looking for another attempt on the Alfa Romeo man, going side by side into turn 4 now. Can he stick around the outside? He can. Now into turn 5, will they brave out together? They still do. Still going side by side into turn 5. As Mark Nicky gets the better there of LSD, but LSD looks to have gotten the better exit now. Will he look down towards the inside? No, he thinks better of it. Now will LSD look to do what Mark Nicky did to him last lap? As it, yep, in serious ERS mode, he does not want to be wasting the ERS behind him. No, looks like he can't catch up here to Mark Nicky, but looks like that's how it stands. But as you can see now, Faircamp is right behind both of them now. And as Doxter comes around, he's still leading by around the same margin as it was for the last lap, setting a new fastest lap of the race as expected on lap 2. Followed by Sky, Mark Nicky, then the Alfa Romeos, and now Faircamp looks to be getting quite racy behind his teammate. Wonder if he will have a look down like Nicky did. Go on board now. No, doesn't send it there. As it looks like Sterk is coming to the pits. Does he have wing damage possibly? Don't know, as he just missed his pit stop. So go back and board with Faircamp, who's still right behind his teammate of LSD. Third lap now, so there will be DRS on the straight after the fast left right hander. Faircamp will be looking to stick behind him, and as it stands he will be getting DRS activation as he runs quite wide there on the exit of that corner. So stay with these two. As we look further down in the grid, we can see Mandrop is not that far behind Drake in the Haas car. As we go on board with Faircamp DRS, but it's not enough to catch up to LSD. As Mark Nicky is starting to pull away from the both of them. Faircamp will be looking to have the better exit than LSD, so he can maybe line up and overtake down to turn 3 or maybe turn 1 if he's ambitious enough. As Mark Nicky sets the fastest lap of the race, he's looking to be going well in this race. Oh, as we do see Faircamp run slightly onto the grass there, but still keeping it within half a second of LSD, so didn't lose all that much time. As we now fall back into Mandrop, who is right in the back of Drake, who's still on lap 3 of the race. I wonder if we'll look to set up a move here. As Drake, he is starting on the medium tyre, so Mandrop will be at the advantage in terms of grip here. As Mercedes opens the DRS down into turn 1 now, as he passes Oxen, I believe that's coming out of the pits. Slam dunk overtake, but oh! Yep, that's Drake, he's into the wall, he's lost some of his front wing there. Very unlucky for Drake, getting a snap of oversteer on the exit of turn 1. As he has retired from the session. Oh, as he runs right there, so oh, it's a safety car. Safety car has been deployed from the Drake incident. I wonder if anybody will be pitting. Oh, Husqvarna's chosen to pit. Oh, it's TX606 has a drive-through penalty for speeding. Very unlucky for him. See Sky, will he be going onto the? He'll be going onto the mediums. Wow, very early going onto them, as it looks like he will be getting held up there by the Alfa Romeo sub by SDC. Importantly though, he doesn't get overtaken by Mark Nicky behind the Mercedes, who has gone on to... What's he gone on to? Has he gone on to the... He's gone on to the softs. I do not know if there's a mistake on his hand on choosing the tyres, but that does not seem to be optimal unless he's ultra confident in going in the 2-stop. Scar as well, will he be able to let those mediums last to the end of the race? We will have to see. But as it stands, we have TX606 in second, Doxter in the lead, And the Scary, he's only came out in third, so he, in theory, has a 20-second interval. Well, a 20-second gap over Doxter due to the close proximity they will be in once the safety car comes in. So this could be either the best strategy call he's done or the worst. As we will see, the cars, it looks like everybody apart from the top two has came into the pits during that pit stop, apart from Sterk, I believe, who had to do a pit stop earlier on, and Zoxon as well. You see Doxter leads the way with the soft compound of tyres on. I mean, and TX606 has been the big winner at the start. You can put that down due to most people love pitting, but we did see him jump around 11 positions at the start of the race, so yes, he's had a very good start to the race. Zoxon as well, he has gained a fair bit of positions. So we'll look at the strategy here of people who've gone into the pits of Nitro Fox. What happened to him? Oh, he's just retired in the pits. Oh dear. Do you see, it is a fair spread throughout the grid of soft, medium and hard tyres, so yeah, this is looking very interesting to see how these strategies play out. We will have to keep an eye on Sterk here. I don't know if this is glitch because the game's saying he's on hard tyres when it's showing he's on mediums here, so yeah, not exactly sure. There. They have Mandrop behind on the soft compounded tyres, who looks he got caught up earlier on, so Muriot, as he appeared 4 laps ago, contrary to people here on the one stop who stopped 1 lap ago. So I do apologise for my mistake earlier saying pretty much everybody came in under the safety cars. It appears it didn't, as lots of people maybe got into incident, as Zoxon gets a 5-second penalty for avoiding yellow flags. So I wonder if he'll want to get that appealed. Oh, I'm not sure if that was a glitch or something, but it looks like Yurich just went straight into the wall there, so very strange there. As it looks like the safety car, oh, it's coming in this lap, so we will go on board with Doxter at the head of the field in the racing point. As you see the grid very bunched up there, as you do see Fat Cossie is still trying to catch up to the back of the grid, which he has. So as now Doxter comes around the final corner, he gets a bad exit. Now TX606 is looking to get past. So it's a score, it's 3 wide into turn 1. He will come out on top here. Oh, Doxter. Oh, that's TX606. Yep, he's been spun. As you now see, Haskari has taken the lead after pit. Now Mark Nicky's alongside of Doxter. Closely following is a pair of Alfa Romeos in Faircamp and LSD. As Faircamp is looking to have a go on Mark Nicky, but he doesn't. As Doxter's right on the rear of Haskari right now. He goes side by side and takes back the lead. Very nicely done there. Now Haskari wants a second go. Haskari closing in down to the left right hander here. Mark Nicky still closely behind. I wonder how he'll come in, as he just got a 3-second time penalty from cutting that corner, as Doxter streaks ahead as of now. I'm going to check if Haskari has any wing damage, because he used to be going much slower, and it does not appear so, unless it's some invisible damage. So it's Doxter who leads the way on lap 7 after the safety car, followed by Haskari in the McLaren, then Mark Nicky in the Mercedes, then Faircamp LSD, Mark, Sterk, Mandrop, Muriats. As we look towards the battle between Mark Nicky and Haskari now. Mark Nicky on the soft tyres, both the same age as Haskari's medium, so Mark Nicky will be at a grip advantage right now. Mark Nicky did look very impressive in the opening stage of the races, getting, I think, the fastest lap it was before the safety car came out. And look at him, oh, he taps the rear of Haskari, Haskari almost round. Both having to slow down now. Faircamp, it's right on the back of both of them. I do not know, it doesn't look like Mark Nicky had wing damage there. Well, that's the least Haskari needed, with Doxer streaking away in the lead. No inroads being made by Ethan Faircamp and Mark Nicky, but LSD, he looks to be really close behind Faircamp there. And look at that, Mark Nicky closing in on Haskari now. They come to the main straight. I do not know if DRS is activated. I believe it is not activated, but he doesn't get the best exit. But he's still glued to the rear of the McLaren of Haskari, as now DRS is enabled. Down into turn 1 now. 67 car of it. Mark Nicky stalking the rear of the papaya orange McLaren. No moves being made there. As we look back and we do see Cozzy is making a move down on Zoxon. Zoxon on the hard tyres. Cozzy looks to be going around the outside here. All 4 wheels off the track there. As he does take the position. P10 it now is from a good safety car has allowed him to get right back up after his mistake of turn 1. But now we look here, Mark Nicky going alongside with Haskari. Now we have Faircamp looking to get into here. DRS will be enabled, so we'll have to see what Mark Nicky will do here. Now fast left right handers. Doctor's tyres will be falling off as of now. They are 8 laps old. Here comes Mark Nicky down the inside on Haskari. Side by side now. Will he look to keep it in here? He does. But Haskari still keeps second place. It's Faircamp looking behind. And LSD. But he'll be looking for the second attempt here on the main straight. I wonder if he'll... No, he won't go for a move, but he'll now look for a move into turn 3. Follow here, Haskari's now within a second of Doxter as well, so we'll have to see how that plays out. And no, it does not look like Mark Nicky's looking for an overtake, as Bichello gets a 3-second time penalty. As we do look down further in the grid, we have Muriats alongside Sterk. Little bang of tyres there. As Muriats goes around the outside and takes the position as Mandrop is in the inside. Cozzy getting involved here. He's going down the inside of Mandrop, and no, he just can't make the move. But now he'll be looking to go along the inside here. He does the move, but now we have Mark Nicky up in 3rd place. Really exciting racing this is. As it looks like Haskari didn't get the best exit, and now we have another go into this corner. He'll try around the outside this time. Oh, contact is made. And looks like Mark Nicky's ahead as Bichello. Looks like he's crashed. Yeah, I believe that is like the left right hander looking to be, yeah, looking quite to be a difficult corner for the drivers today. So I think 3 people now have retired at that corner. As you now see Doxter leads, followed by Mark Nicky, then Haskari, and LSD. Looks like he's trying to get past both medium runners, so these look like to be on the same strategy, so this could be a battle for the lead here. Who knows, further in the race this could come into play very importantly, as Haskari looks to be lagging quite a bit as he loses the rear end and Haskari's round. Oh dear. Haskari is around and no, he can't keep it going, so really unfortunate for the Shazoo man. Now see Cozzy move up to 6th place. I think Muriats is disconnected or something. Yeah, it looks like he has disconnected. As we go back on with Faircamp, who's behind LSD, as we now see Mark Nicky getting very close to Dockster at the front. The left-right hander, Faircamp gets, I believe that's his second 3-second time penalty, but now here goes Mark Nicky looking at for a move from Dockster, which he can't make. To the funnel corner, Dockster appears to lose the rear end as he peels into the pit now, so Mark Nicky takes the lead and DRS, so that will really help him now, as we now see the two Alfa Romeo Saubers. Oh, sorry, looks like they were much closer. I believe there was some lag involved there. Now will LSD be looking to make some inroads on Mark Nicky? His soft tyres are around, I'd say, 6 or 5 laps old. Factoring the safety car as, ooh, LSD goes slightly wide there. Looks like Faircamp couldn't really capitalise on it. Now we go on board with Mandrop, who's fairly close to Sterk, so he might be looking for a move in the upcoming laps, maybe this lap, who knows. As we will go back on board with Faircamp in the Alfa Romeo, see if he'll be willing to make a move here, as he does appear to be quite far back, but LSD does, from what I saw, he looked to be getting quite out of shape there. Oh, it's Fat Cozzy. Is he disconnected? I do believe so. As Mark Nicky sets the fastest lap of the race, Mark comes in for his pit. And now we now see the two Alfa Romeos who have been basically battling the whole race now. As we now see Faircamp on the soft compound tyres go down the inside of LSD, but he can't make the move. Let's now look at Carpaccio. He is right on the rear of Mr. Soxon now. Mr. Soxon, who pitted early on in lap 3 or 4, Soxon goes wide, and that allows Carpaccio to have a look down. Ooh, very close there between the two. As Carpaccio will now look. No, we can't capitalise on Soxon there. Faculty has rejoined, so that's good to see. He just looked like he lost too many positions. As all. Sorry, I completely missed out on the Alfa Romeo's battling there, but looks like Faircamp has got back into second place. Faircamp going to the inside there, looking to break the toe from him to LSD. As we'll go back and forth with Carpaccio and Dockster, as Dockster has closed really quite far back up to him, as no, it doesn't appear like anything is happening here, as Dockster sets the fastest lap of the race. As we see him right behind Carpaccio now. Look how much he closed up there. Insane traction from the racing point on the brand new soft compound of tyres. As he goes around the outside here, gets to move slam dunk done back up into P6 in this race. As the next car he'll be looking to overtake will be the Red Bull of Mr. Zoxon. As he does send it around the inside, but now we have the two Alfa Romeos battling once again. No move is made there, so we will go back to Dockster, who I believe has got the move pretty much completed now. And yes, you can see 6/10 gap now to Zoxon, who is now almost a second behind, so he's pulling out really quickly to a gap from Zoxon behind. As Faircamp has come into the pits, what tyres will he be coming onto? As LSD gets the time penalty, looks like he has a 5-second penalty, looks like. And he puts on the medium compound tyres, so yep, he looks like to be going to the end of the race. As we now look at Zoxon, who just looks like he's been overtaken by Carpaccio. But then we have Husqvarna and Cozzy right behind him. Oh, what's this? Is this Husqvarna going around the outside of Zoxon? I apologise. No, he can't do it there, but he now will switch the inside wheel banging there. As the thing goes down the inside of Zoxon and it gets the move done. Can Cozzy get in the action now? No, it doesn't look like he got... Looks like he lost some time on the exit there. But we will see if he can do anything here. As we go on board with Cozzy now as he goes down the inside of Zoxon. Is that Husqvarna going right down the inside of Carpaccio? It is, and Husqvarna back up to 5th place after a spin earlier in the race. Oh! That's Zoxon loses the front wing on Cozzy. As now we have Cozzy looking to make a move on Carpaccio. He's really making some moves now. And yes, up into 6th place goes the Brit, but he goes slightly wide. Will Carpaccio look get past? He will. But Cozzy has the DRS, so he'll have the advantage now as he outbrakes him down into turn 3. And as we look up in the grid, it does look like Dox has gotten past Sturk. Now he has a 14-second gap up to LSD, who looks like he's reeling in Mark Nicky for the lead. So, yeah, I do think that Mark Nicky may be pitting in this lap, as people on the same strategy as him, such as Faircamp, he pitted in last lap or a lap or two ago. So we'll have to see what happens with Mark Nicky now. No, he stays out. So we go back with LSD, see how he reels in Mark Nicky with much better condition medium tyres, I would say he has at this point in time. As we go down the grid to see Mark, who appears to be right on the rear end of Zoxon, who of course has the front wing damage from hitting Cozzy earlier. And here comes Mark, pulls out to the right hand side, easy overtake into turn 1, being able to complete it even before turn 1. Very nicely done there. As we go back up to LSD in the battle for the lead, looks like he will be sizing up a move onto the back straight now. It's coming through this bunch of corners now, leading up to it. Have much better grip throughout the fast left right hander where it really matters for these cars. Let's see how much he closes up there. Obviously, he actually doesn't. Mark Nicky appears to pull away there, but can LSD do anything about it? Can he maybe send one down the inside? No, he's too far back to do so. Mark Nicky still does not pit. Very interesting. Now, LSD will have DRS down into turn 1 as Mark gets past Carpaccio. But we're more focused on this battle for the lead. As LSD 2/10 behind Mark Nicky now. Will he pull out to the outside and the inside? He goes down the inside. Mark Nicky trying to stay in the lead, as it looks like he appears to do so. Yep, great defending from Mark Nicky there. Now LSD gets a better exit from there. Mark Nicky running wide, but no, it does not look like LSD can do anything about it there. But once again, he will be looking for a move on the back straight, which has DRS, so making his life much easier to get past Mark Nicky if he can. As yet, look how much he's closed in, right on the end of Mark Nicky. He'll hopefully be trying to do it now. He goes to the inside. Will Mark Nicky defend? No, looks like a slam dunk move, but Mark Nicky goes, what? Wow, amazing defending there from Mark Nicky. They're still going side by side. Even in the penultimate corner, if Mark Nicky wants to pin, he won't be able to without losing lots of time now. Yep, as he stays out, Mark Nicky does not have DRS, so it's like LSD has come out here as the winner. Unless he could make a move down into turn 3, we will have to see, but it looks like it will be a hard task for Mark. With worse tyres and no DRS, and yet he just can't close in. So LSD takes the lead of the Grand Prix, and he's looking in a very good position for the rest of the race. As the clouds do appear to be starting to get quite prominent now, so could we see rain? That will be very interesting to see if there will be rain in the Australian Grand Prix. Because Australia known for being sunny, but it can rain too. Don't count that out, as we saw in 2014, I think, in the Grand Prix in qualifying there, and 2010, of course. Mark Nicky, a few tenths behind LSD, but looks like looks like his challenge for the lead is over as of now. Does have DRS slightly, as he was still within the second of LSD, but unless LSD makes a mistake, doesn't look like Mark Nicky will be able to make a move. As we now move down to Mandrop, he makes a move on Zoxon. Of course, Zoxon with a broken front wing. Now Mandrop gets himself up to the points paying positions of P10 as Zoxon drops down into P11. We will now have a look for Hiscari, who's closing in on Stair, who I still don't know if he's on medium or hard tyres, due to the game showing different pieces of information from the standings to the actual game. Oh, and that is rain. Rain has started coming down now. So it looks like LSD has done a masterstroke of the strategy. So has Hiscari, but due to his spin, he's been set back massively. As we do see Mark now on the rear of Fat Cozzy. Mark with much better tyres as the track becomes wetter and wetter. The grip becoming more limited for the drivers due to the wetness and dampness of the track. We go back aboard the Hiscari. DRS is still enabled. I don't think the track is quite wet enough for intermediate, so DRS is still enabled. Here comes Hiscari. Really closing up into the Stirk there. DRS wide open now. Will he look towards the inside here? No, he doesn't. Looks like he'll be looking to go on the main straight. As Mark Nicky has come into the pits. Will he be going on to Inters? We will have to see as he sped in the pit lane. As his pit crew come out for intermediates. Is this too early? We do not know. As we go back aboard with Hiscari, right behind Stirk now. DRS open. That's what's happened to Cozzy. Never mind, that's just timing glitch. And yeah, there goes Hiscari up into P3. Oh dear. Hiscari hits the wall and lost some of his front wing there. Very lucky he didn't lose a wheel there as he locks up. Looks like he'll be falling into clutches of Cozzy now, who'll be catching up to him and will be maybe getting past in the pit stop for intermediates. But as Hiscari will be having to replace his front wing, so Cozzy, after a dreadful first stop, has looked to be clawing himself back up into P4, maybe even P3 by the end of the race. But right now he does have the two cars of Faircamp and Mark right on his rear end as of now. As Carpaccio is looking to get here, Mark Nicky has totally done the wrong strategy call here. Not wet enough for Inters yet, as Carpaccio breezes past on almost 20 lap old hard tyres. Now Mark looking to get past Fat Cozzy here. Raven go, but I think Mark will have to more worry about Faircamp, but it does look like he has pulled a gap here. Here comes, because you can see Husqvarna's McLaren getting bigger and bigger as he closes in, and I do not know if Husqvarna, no, he doesn't put in, he does not think it's wet enough for Inters right now. And there comes Cosy now, with Mark behind him, closely followed by Faircamp, as the rain does appear to be getting more intense as Mark Nicky has spanned. Yet he's made a bad strategy decision there by going onto the Inters, but he starts to hold it out. As we go back on to this battle for 5th, maybe 4th by the end of the start, which consists of Cosy, Faircamp and Mark, maybe even Husqvarna. Faircamp getting really close, so is Mark to Cosy. So that's a yellow flag. Is this Mark Nicky again? I do not know. Oh, Faircamp taps the rear of Mark, and he loses a lot of time there, so it's just looked like he's marking Cosy for now. Yes, Faircamp has almost dropped his second back now. He could risk losing DRS, which I think he has. See, look how much cautious they're taking it from earlier in the race. Will Mark look to be getting past Cosy now? DRS still not enabled. No, he's just not close enough. Now, Cosy is within the second of Husqvarna, so Husqvarna losing the rear end there. Cosy closing right up to the rear of him, and the track is looking fairly wet now. As Dockstar, I think, is pitting in for intermediates now. Yeah, looks like Sterk is, so is Husqvarna, so is Cosy. Looks like it's perfect time for intermediates now. Everybody's coming in, apart from Faircamp and LSD. I wonder if Dockster could potentially close in enough to LSD. It will be a big task for him, but it will be amazing as... Oh, Cosy have a stop go? I do not know, as Mandrop has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and yet Husqvarna has ended up behind Mark and... Yeah, Mark and even Mark Nicky, who went onto the Inters early, and as Mark Nicky has come back in the battle of Mark and Cosy. As we go up with Faircamp here, he's really struggling, going wide there. I don't think Doxon will be able to catch back up to LSD, but he will be much closer as DRS is disabled. Cosy has managed to gap Mark to a second. Gap doesn't matter for a second now, as DRS is now disabled, but yeah, it looks like Cosy has got himself into a net P4, which is really good for him after what happened at the start of the race. As you do see now, LSD has pitted in. Onto intermediates now. Is Faircamp coming in? Yes, he is. And where he's compared to Dockster. Dockster's taking the lead. Did LSD have a stop-go penalty? We do not know, but Dockster is now into the lead of the race. What a development here, as it looked like LSD had this win all to himself, but now by pitting one lap too late, it's all gone to waste, unless we have to see about time penalties. He'll have to stick within 3 seconds if Dockster has more than him. As Faircamp has come out behind Husqvarna and ahead of Mandrop. We'll go on board with Mark now, as he appears to be the closest, but we also have LSD, who maybe is closing into Dockster now. And yes, it does appear so that he's closing into Dockster, and it does appear that Cosy is also closing into Sterk. Cosy very tentative on the exit there. This yellow flag. Who is this for? Oh, that's Mandrop. Mandrop has spanned. And yeah, LSD is really reeling in on Doxter now. As Haskari gets a 3-second time penalty. Now it's 1.3 second gap, 1.2 now from Doxter to LSD. Have a quite healthy gap to stack behind, with that being a 14-second gap. And now I think Cossy's made a mistake, as Mark is in within 1 second of him now. We'll go back on board with LSD and Doxter. Doxter looking very good in first, but LSD looking even better behind on the intermediate tyres. But Doxter does appear to be pulling away in this first sector, as I do think LSD made a slight mistake there. So the gap's back up to 1.7 seconds now. So LSD really did not need that. As we go back and forth with Mark and Cosy, who's only just making through the stadium section, or the car park section. I have to see if he will be close enough to make a move into any of these upcoming corners, as it is now 3/10 from the Williams to the Toro Rosso. As man dropped pits, I think he had wing damage from his incident earlier. No, but looks like Mark lost some time earlier there, and now the gap to Cossi is only 0.8 now. Mark will be looking to close in, maybe nab that P4, but also Cossi is closing in on Sturk. It's a 2.5 second gap now. I do not know if he'll be able to close that up by the end of the race, but we will have to see. It's 2.3 now, so maybe Cossi's much more driving style's much more suited to the wet than Sturk is. We will have to see by the end of the race if he can get past him. So Williams goes into turn 1, so Sturk gets his time penalty, so I do not know if Cossi has any, but as it stands it looks like Cossi's on the podium. But he will have to fend off Mark first if Mark doesn't have any penalties. As LSD gets a time penalty, that could be a big blow to him if Doxter possibly had more time penalties than him. As Mark still on the rear end of Cossi here. And now it's 1.6 to Stark, so despite the time penalty, Cossi could be looking to get into a podium on track here. But as I mentioned, he starts the Taurus of Mark looming behind him. But he just looks to be struggling coming out of that corner. Now it's 1 second gap. And here comes Cossi now, looking to close in on Sturk and get that podium position on track. Obviously I am unaware of the time penalties as of now, but we do see Mark sticking within a second of him. Cossi getting under 1.5 seconds. Mark gets a snap of oversteer there and is dropped back significantly. Now Cossi's closest to Steph, then Cossi's closest to Mark. Wow. I mean, now see Ascari closed in the Mark Nicky. The Mark Nicky, of course, the one who pitted onto intermediates first in this race, which didn't pay off as he was in a healthy 2nd place. Now he's dropped down into 6th place. Obviously, he will not be wanting to lose any more positions as it stands. As you go back into this group of cars, not exactly battling at the moment, but they're all closing in with each one another. Mark's faster than Cossi, I believe, but Cossi's also faster than Sterk, so this is interesting. We've got 3 laps of the race to go, almost 2 now, is it? We'll have to see where Doxter is on the track. Yep, Doxter coming around to start the penultimate lap of the race. But will Cossi be able to close in any more to Sterk, who's in 3rd place? And also, will Haskari be able to claw himself back up into P6? We will have to see. As Kossi looks to be closer than ever to Sturk now. Rounding the final corner, gap is 1.3 seconds to Sturk. 1.2 now. But I do not know if there is enough sufficient amount of time left for Kossi to get into P3. As it does look like Sturk pulled a bit of a gap off him in having a much better turn 1. Yet, as Mark is now within a second of Kossi now. Kossi appears to be dropping back from Sturk now. Go back to Haskari and Mark Nicky. Mark Nicky wanted to keep on to this P6 after his, I guess you could call it a calamity of a strategy call, pitting onto the Inters 1 or 2 laps too early and spinning on the outlap. So without that spin he could be challenging for a podium right now, but as you can see he's in P6. But he also looked further down into the grid, and we have Carpaccio closing right up into Zoxon now. As Haskari is really close to Mark Nicky now. Will he be able to capitalise on the exit here? No, looks like Mark Nicky had the better exit. Now Kossi is almost within a second of Sturk now. Will he be able to get the podium position? Carpaccio gets a 3-second time penalty in his pursuit of Mixed and Zoxon. Now we have Mark within half a second, well, six tenths now of Kossi. Will he be able to get past the Brit in the final lap of the race? As he looks to have a much better turn 1 than Kossi. Will he be able to possibly send one into turn 3 now? Doesn't look like he's close enough. But he closed in quite a lot there as the Sturk goes wide, I think. Oh, I thought he went on the gravel there, it looked like, but yeah, he's lost around 3 tenths to Kossi there. Oh dear, Sturk looks to be all over the place there. Sturk looks like he's struggling. If it wasn't for Kossi's poor turn 1 at the start of the lap, he could be right onto him now. But as of now, due to the mistake, Mark's right on Kossi. We have to cut away from that. Oh no, it's not quite towards the end yet. So we can still keep on these trio of cars. Now I do think, here comes Stockton now. Around the final couple of corners. He goes and wins the first race of the season. Starting off really well. Congratulations to the Doctor as LSD comes to finish. Yep, he had a bunch of time penalties, had he? He's 11 seconds behind. As we will have to see what happens regarding the podium position. And Mark Nicky's disconnected right at the end. That's terribly unlucky. As here comes Sturk. Doesn't appear to be celebrating. Will Kossi be getting the podium position? No. Mark ends up getting the podium position. Wow. As Kossi dropped down into P6 after all of that. So Haskari into 5th. Now got Faircamp into P8. TX606. He has got into P9. He did appear to be onto it for a good result earlier in the race, but he did get spammed by Haskari into turn 1 when they were 3 abreast after the safety car restart. Following him is Carpaccio, who does have a time penalty if I remember. I do not know if Zoxon has any, so possibly Zoxon could be getting past here. Maybe to clinch the final points paying position. As these are the final cars to finish here. Here comes Carpaccio for the finish line. Will Zoxon get past? He does. Zoxon gets a final points paying position. So, a really, really exciting Australian Grand Prix here today in WCR Tier 3, Season 3. Here, as we see Doxter takes the top step for the podium. Hopefully he'll be starting the season as he means to go on and possibly mount a title challenge. We can't rule out other guys like LSD who put in a very impressive showing. So did Mark, I believe. Mark started fairly down the grid here. Yep, in 10th. He had a really good race. So, final finishing positions. We have Dockster in 1st, LSD in 2nd, Mark in 3rd, Sturk in 4th, Haskari in 5th, Cozzy in 6th after a great comeback drive. Mark Nicky in 7th, getting disconnected right at the end of it. Faircamp in 8th, TX6 was 6th and 9th, and Dockster in 10th, rounding out the points finishes, with Carpaccio being the last car to finish on the lead lap, with Mandrop, Muritz and Crescent all being lapped, Crescent being lapped twice. So that is it for the Australian Grand Prix of WCR Season 3 Tier 3. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Latzero, and yeah, goodbye.